Hi, you guys. Thank you so much, you divine crystal lovers, for stopping by. I am so excited to talk about some apatite today. It's really amazing, beautiful, beautiful stuff that might hold a few surprises that I want to share with you today. So, apatite, what is it? All right, I'm not a geologist, but it's got some calcium, some phosphorus, some hydrogens, a little chlorine, a little fluorine. It's kind of a mix and match, like a lot of stones are. The interesting thing about it is, though, it comes from so many unique, kind of fun, exotic places, like India and Kenya, Norway, Sri Lanka. It also comes from some pretty common places where we think, well, maybe we wouldn't find it. Like, it comes from the States, it comes from Canada, it comes from Madagascar, it comes from Brazil. Those are some of the more common places it comes from. The place in Madagascar comes from this kind of a neon blue prettiness, but it's also deep and rich in Brazil as well. So aside from apatite being just stunningly beautiful in so many different forms, wherever it comes from, the thing that it does is it really allows us to live courageously and authentically from our hearts. And the feeling that it brings and fosters and creates within us is so exciting. It's actually named from a Greek god by the name of Apatito. And what that means is something really not very complimentary. It's actually meant to deceive. And the reason they named it that was because they really thought, when they found apatite, that it was pyreba kyanite, which is very rare, very stunning, and it has a little bit bluer and way more diaphanous look to it than apatite does. But they were a little disappointed, and so they really felt like this stone had really surprised them or deceived them. But in a way, they were really right, because this stone kind of nudges us into doing things that maybe we didn't expect to, or moving into careers that we didn't think we could do, or even had an affinity for. Or it will take us to places that we didn't even know we wanted to go. For years and years and years, I've always traveled with apatite because it always shows us a really fun road less traveled. There's so many amazing things that this apatite really nudges us for, but the thing that's so exciting and so important is that thing that is deep within us. There's this special beauty that is like a container for the eternal, unlimited power of love that we all carry with us, that we all have full intention when we come into these bodies to share in the most unique and spectacular way. And apatite opens up those channels, kind of nudges us, sparks open those energetic places so that we can consciously tap into that. So courage. Courage, the word, actually comes from the French. And the French word is coeur, C-O-U-R. Coeur is heart in French. So courage was really the truth of living, expressing, speaking, being from our hearts. And that kind of life, that kind of love, it's not egotistical, it's not judgmental, and it's certainly not fearful in any way. It's just an effortless knowing, a knowing of ourselves, a knowing of that connection that we have with everyone and everything else that we can live from, share from, and all that is divine. And that's really the truth of ourselves. And when we are fearless to live from that, why, there's nothing to stop us. So apatite, the energy of apatite kind of nudges us along. It's very sweet, it's very loving, but it nudges us, and actually we find ourselves being open to act on our own love in the most conscious of ways, which is kind of fun because a lot of times we get frustrated because we think we're living in a conscious manner, and sometimes we just can't tap into that last knowing of who we are that we want to express or we want to share. Apatite guides us, helps us, supports us in truly living from our heart. So the thing to remember about that, and the thing to set aside when we pick up a piece of apatite, is to completely remember that no matter what we've experienced before, no matter what we've been told, no matter what we've been taught, no matter what we believe about ourselves, we are in fact, without question or doubt, pure love. So, the Gnostics, the Essenes, they've all talked about this love within us. They've all talked about how we live from this love. They've all talked about how we create from this love. Saint Germain always prayed from the point of living, creating our reality from the heart. He always wanted to envelop our consciousness from pulling our wisdom, pulling our understanding, creating from the heart. Abraham Hicks talks about that. Greg Braden talks about that. Joe Dispenza talks about that. There's always been these references, but now we actually have scientific, hardcore, documented evidence that our heart holds these 40,000 or so very specific cells within that muscle that actually communicates and operates and envelops and even in some cases activates our intellect so that we can actually physically express with our bodies into our reality this love and this wisdom and this uniqueness that we are. So just a little trivia. Our heart is actually the largest part of us creating our own electromagnetic field. For years and years and years, they thought our electricity and our electromagnetic field, our aura and all that kind of fun stuff, the energy that we heal with, we all thought that came from the brain, but it actually technically comes from the heart. And apatite, this little baby right here, hums along with that beautifully and actually augments that so that we can detect it more easily. Okay, so what I would really like to share with you today is this fabulous process. This is going to be so much fun, that I actually picked up from Greg Braden. And he calls it harmonizing heart and mind, or something like that. I'll put the link below, I promise. But what we're going to do is we're going to allow the apatite to augment this process so that we can really start to feel how our consciousness melds with our heart and our heart melds with our consciousness. All right, so if you guys have a piece of apatite, go get it. I'll wait here. Oh, yeah, and remember to hit pause. Okay, you're back, you're ready, you have your apatite. So now what I'm going to invite you to do is take your non-dominant hand. In this case, for me, it's my left. And you can place it over your heart. You can place it over your heart. You can use a mudra over your heart. You can open your palm. You can just use a finger. But get settled in where you're just comfortable. Back straight. Feet on the floor. And you're connected in some way, pointing with that non-dominant hand and your heart. Okay, so now you're all settled in with your hand over your heart, your hand and your heart connected. I'm going to invite you to just close your eyes if it's comfortable. And start to just slow your breathing down just a little bit. If you're counting every 3 seconds, you can just move that to every 5 seconds. And just notice how when your breath slows down, then your heart may slow down just a little bit. It just opens everything up to relax it so you can start to really notice what happens next. So now you're settled in to a little bit of harmonic breathing. You've noticed your heart with your hand and your hand with your heart. Your breathing has settled into a little slower pace. And now I'm going to invite you to just focus on one of these words, or maybe all 4 of these words. They're all delightful. So you pick and choose. You get to decide which of these work for you. There's the word caring. Caring for someone or something. And then there's the word appreciate. Having appreciation for someone or something. And then there's that wonderful word gratitude. Being grateful for someone or something. And then of course there's compassion. Feeling or just noticing compassion for someone or something. You get to roll all of those around in your mind and your heart, or your heart in your mind, letting them just begin to flow and float. So now that you're just allowing and inviting and enjoying these words floating, compassion, gratitude, appreciation, caring, and they settle in, I want to invite you to just allow your mind, that part of your mind that's right behind your forehead, to slip and slide right into your heart. Take that part of your brain. It's just nestled right in there behind your forehead. And let it slip in there. Your mind to your heart to your mind. And when you start to feel a little bit of difference, a little bit of relaxation with your mind, take that wonderful piece of apatite in your other hand and just place it right above your third eye. Not on your third eye, just above it, right in the center of your forehead. And just notice what that feels like. So now I'm going to just invite you to notice what that feels like. With those beautiful words rolling in, around, and through your heart and your mind, and allowing and inviting that wonderful appetite to just pick up those sparks and send them in a conscious way through every molecule, through every muscle, through every cell, fiber, and tissue of your being, sparking and sparkling. Your ability to really feel and understand the consciousness of love that you are. So now that you've rolled around these wonderful words with those wonderful feelings, with that wonderful love, I'm going to invite you now to just notice the chair that you're sitting on, the room around you, and just blink your eyes to open. You can put your appetite down, you can put your hand down, and just take a couple of wonderful, deep, delicious, cleansing breaths. Maybe even stretch a little. So now that you've taken a couple of deep breaths and maybe stretched a little, I can tell you that you can really practice this on your own 3 times a day. Greg Braden says that we can reactivate this about every 6 hours to really carry us through, to help our body function better, all of our cells to be aligned, just to have a happy, pleasant day. And it certainly perpetuates manifestation in the direction that we want to go. So play, have fun with it. It's been so much fun for me just to learn about this and then share it with you. I love this. I try to do this at least 3 times a day because it feels so good. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. It's so much fun to play with you, crystal lovers. I'm Pam Teague. I am your local rock star and the heartbeat of Sacred Stone. And I totally love sharing the secrets of stones with you guys and playing with them and discovering them with you. So if you guys have any comments, any things you want to share, anything that you're interested in exploring further, please comment below. And if you'd like to learn more about the secrets of stones, stop by my website. It's oursacredstone.com. You'll find blogs there. You'll find Apatite there if you want a piece of your own and you don't have one. I'm also on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. And remember, when you go on my website, to check out events, because we're all kinds of places all the time, and I would love for you guys to stop by so we can share a hug or two. That would be so much fun. Anyway, thank you so much. So you guys, just remember, it's so much fun to carry a stone in your pocket and a song in your heart for a crystal magic kind of day. And do me a favor, subscribe for good vibes. Thank you so much for coming by. Ciao for now.